Do you know what the common design mistake is on a website's homepage? Well, we're going to talk about that, then a little bit about brand positioning across platforms, and then ways to keep participants engaged during a webinar. Let's get to it. Hey guys, my name is Roche, and let me welcome you to this week's episode of the Social Coffee Break. This is where I talk about new stuff in the social media world that matters to me. One of the reasons we all do social media marketing is because we want traffic. Traffic to our sales pages, to our landing pages, and even to our home pages on our website. But most of the time, we're making a ton of mistakes. Marcus Sheridan, in his latest article over at the Sales Lion, says that the #1 goal for any website is to get people to the second page. Essentially, whatever the next important page is. Maybe a video, maybe an opt-in page, maybe a sales page. And in addition, he says, #1, stay away from sliders because they rarely convert. Instead, refine your message so that it's as clear as ever. #2, headlines should never be about your stuff. Don't talk about your company, but instead focus on what the solution means for the consumer. And #3, no one cares about company news. It's fine to have a news section, but don't place it prominently on the home page. Make it about the user and less about you. In addition to this, there are 2 other tips on his website. I've posted a link to that below. We all know that sales are the lifeblood of any business. No sales, and it won't take long before a company goes under. But what lots of us don't take into consideration is a little something called positioning. Basically, the way we describe ourselves to the world. In John Clark's recent article on Convince and Convert, he says that it's uber important to ensure that all your positioning is consistent on all platforms, from your website to your social networks. He gives the example of Accenture and shows how they updated their website to match their new positioning, and that's great. But then he shows their social media platforms, and while it's consistent, they're lagging behind in updating the new positioning. And what's the key takeaway here? If you're going to make positioning changes on one platform, make sure you do them on all. One of the worst things we can do is to leave our users confused as to who we are and what we offer. You can read more about John's article in the link below. So it's pretty much confirmed that we as business owners love sales. We keep saying that because we know it's true. And right now, one of the hottest ways is to make sales with webinars and to include that in your marketing arsenal. Tons of companies are using social media to build a community and gain awareness, but then send users to a webinar. This allows business owners to collect leads and get in a closer one-on-one relationship with their prospects. But once you've got folks signed up for a webinar, how do you keep them engaged? Tiffany Parson, the CEO founder at Virtual Hired Hand, recently wrote an article for socialsolutionscollective.com where she talks about 3 easy-to-implement strategies for keeping folks engaged. And here's what she says. #1, ensure you ask questions throughout the webinar and have attendees post their responses in the chat window. Interact and engage with them. #2, give information you know your audience wants to hear. Use a survey ahead of time to figure out what the audience wants and then give it to them. And #3, create a pre-webinar assignment that they have to do to fill out before the webinar. This helps to build anticipation for the webinar. And on a personal note, I can tell you, we've done these exact strategies before, and it makes a huge difference. The more engaged we found our attendees to be, the more sales we typically end up with at the end of the webinar. Tiffany dives deeper into these ideas, so check out her article in the link I've posted below. So guys, if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a comment below and subscribe right here. And while you're at it, feel free to visit us at thesocialcoffeebreak.com and sign up for our VIP newsletter. That's where I share more helpful tips I don't share anywhere else. And as always, this is Roche saying, thanks for watching. And hey, since you're still here, we've got some amazing videos below, so be sure you check them out.